We can talk to the Director of Crime Services na the Salon Police, where na AIG William Fire Cell we there they can tell we about them work, and also the West Africa Police Information System, how it dey help the Salon Police and issues them we get for do with combating crime na Salon and the sub-region. Good morning once more and welcome to the program again.
Good morning, thank you.
Well, as people go know, the crime services now one part of the division them now the Salon Police, where they as in the director in the supervise, but 7 departments them way under the crime services where they deal with crime investigations and prosecutions of local and international organized crimes them. Well, Eden at the studio this morning, our very first time, this forget you. It's a pleasure having you in the studio for the very first time.
Thank you very much.
Let me just start for now. As you the supervise, but 7 departments them now under the crime services now Sierra Leone Police. Waiting now the different work with the crime services now the Salon Police don't they do over the years?
Well, the Crime Services Department, Directorate and the Sierra Leone Police are the hub for all police investigations and prosecutions because we say Crime Services Directorate, it includes crime management, what they call CID First Term, Family Support Unit, Interpol, TOCU, Legal and Justice Support Department, Scientific Support Department, and Witness Protection. So all of them what they did and get their own task when they perform. But if you look at it all in a nutshell about investigations and prosecution and also witness protection. In the case of, for example, the special courts, we been come up now we set up that department for protect witnesses we for testifying at the special court.
So now we look at the different departments that we don't make mention of under the crime services unit, now the Salon Police. What are the function of each and every one of them? Do we start with the TOCU, for instance?
TOCU, they look at transnational organized crime and terrorism. TOCU, the human mandate in the nutshell, drugs. What's international organized crime include drug trafficking, human trafficking, money laundering issues. All of those ones fall within the purview of TOCU. And of course, Interpol, International Police Organization, they will deal with things we get for regional or global dimension. Then they operate basically through the I-247, the forum would then create for share information about Interpol notices, stolen works of art, missing persons, missing documents, stolen vehicles, stolen weapons, all of those ones. And Interpol, they look at basically, then are the link between the Sierra Leone police and other regional and global police law enforcement agencies across the world. And of course, legal and justice, then basically in our prosecution. We crime management investigate, then charge, then send to court, then legal and justice they prosecute. Family support unit get for do with all those issues we get for do with domestic violence, SGBV cases, children in conflict with the law or children affected by the law, those issues. Then, of course, crime management, they look at investigations of all cases except those we get that family connection, we get that family support dimension, we can push and get them, but they are working together.
Now we look at the different sectors that we don't mention and the different area the more they investigate around. How you can talk about or put the crime rate in percentage over the past years? Well,
interestingly, we get every year they publish what we call the crime statistics. Every year they publish that one day. So we don't publish for 2021. 2021 we work on it now for publisher. Because in the first month of every other year, we publish the crime statistics for the previous year. So as I talk now, we get those figures, but I don't mean especially this they come up now. So basically, I want for say, I'm gonna wait up until we then publish the statistics. Then we'll look at the report for see how they go. But the trend, as I see, as director of crime services, would they experience a drop in the trend in the crime rates in the country as a whole.
But where you generally they talk about crime, what are the most common crimes them where people they commit na Salon as per the reports them where on be on the record?
Yeah, we record most times, most reported things like assault, larceny, fraudulent conversion, then the embezzlement, of course, then breaking offenses, broke into stores, broke into offices and theft in there. Once in a while, we get heinous crimes like murder cases once in a while.
So in terms of the general instances and we don't get as most common crimes na the country, how the crime services the departments and the Salon police can go about for get people and making involved in crimes them?
Well, basically, we own call functioner for investigate, and then we charge to court. So when once case the report and any of information there across the country, would they investigate them, would they look at systematically for discover the facts and come out to the truth, then we will charge. That's our core function in crime management investigations.
So then the one the way owner can get for do the investigation, are they ask this because we don't get information and people been on the call earlier for talk say some of the people are working involved in some investigation, the issue of interference, can they in some of them cases them, especially we get for do it high profile crime cases where the Salon police go to investigate. How are they do in terms of getting the investigators them way for prosecute some of them cases and
Well, me, I don't be local unit commander for 6 divisions in this country. Then, of course, I don't be director of crime services. I'm getting close to a year now. We investigate for them, now people that we in the first place, then train, then they go by the ethics of the profession, one of which is integrity. You can't forget integrity. And that issue of interference, me in my time as local unit commander, I not ever experienced it because one of the things that we government they promise you at all times that we are operationally independent but accountable. So as a local unit commander, any side you do, whatever you do, as an investigator, anything you do, wherever you do, you are bound to account for what you have done. And that is why we maybe not the only organization we get a regulatory body, that is CDID, for regulate the conduct of our people. So all of those things you are talking about, to let person you allow yourself to be corrupted, it falls within one of the offenses in the discipline regulation. So if we pick that up, possibly get case to you, tell you this man has been influenced, we'll investigate you. If the facts come out that yes, you have been influenced, we'll take action. We not to for proof beyond reasonable doubt. We in a balance of probability. The probability that you take money from person or person influence you for do the wrong thing.
When we look at the different divisions that we call under the crime services, how equipped the Salon police in terms of human resource and materials in doing their work in investigating crimes or for stop crime?
Well, we are very equipped because we have the personnel. We have the personnel, we get the manpower, we get the technical know-how. We are training our people quite a lot. Very recently, we don't send scores of people now Egypt, now Nigeria. We just don't link up with the Nigerian police service for low personnel. They go study na NIPS. Then go one police school in Nigeria na NIPS. Of course, we get a small other program them now. Other countries, China, United States, the ambassador to United States, Ambassador Siddiq, just don't negotiate one training program for Sierra Leone police now, Canada and United States of America. So we'll get it. We go through the training, we prepare them well for the task ahead. Then secondly, we get the logistics. Logistics in policing are 2 things. Transportation and communication added to the knowledge base and the manpower. Those things are there, and we get the at management level, supervisory level, we get the people that will supervise those people where they deal with cases at all levels. So that is why we are working closely with the Office of the Attorney General. Every case we are sending to court, who they investigate, they link up with the Office of the Attorney General, the DPP particularly. So they look at the investigation stage by stage so that we don't miss it by the time we get to court.
Talking about being equipped, one division under the crime services unit, as you mention, that the family support unit, with this unit, and on several occasions, then there is concern about equipment, about offices, about for do them work, they not get the car, they not get the kind facilities them we they need. And you talk about when are really equipped. What thing exactly happened to unit them like the family support unit?
Well,
they always raise concern about being equipped.
Well, the family support unit, now I need and the way they get the greatest support from the leadership of the Sierra Leone police and from government and also government partners like UN agencies. Just 1 week ago, we received 17 motorbikes from UNICEF for boost the work of family support unit, and we get 2 vehicles on the ICs, Prado Land Cruisers for also support FSU. Then even the leadership of the Sierra Leone Police is always, I mean, a director of crime services. The short term around the FSU don't drop training programs more than any other department under the directorate. And as I talk, so we are working on a one-stop center in Aberdeen. We got the regional headquarters where they construct in Aberdeen. They don't just give one floor at that building, therefore do a one-stop center for issues having to do with sexual and gender-based violence cases. As right now, the head of director of infrastructure within team, and they fix up that day. So basically, sometimes people they exaggerate where equipment. What do you need? You are going to investigate. We have the Rainbow. We are partnering with people like Rainbow Center, Don Bosco, Fambul, those other people. The support we say we get gaps. So the hue and cry about not being equipped doesn't come into focus.
As somebody where they report on budgets for these institutions, and don't they follow budgets several years? The unit don't they call for independent budgets for themselves, apart from being under the Salon Police?
Well, not to the unit per se, as now people where they look at what the unit is doing, like Carl now one particular body where they advocate for that kind of standing budget for family support unit. But like I say, family support unit, the way the police leadership they support that unit, they support no other units so under the directorate. Are they jealous for that? Because each time they are dropping training programs, they go into millions, and the money is always there. The IG not even crash head for fund those issues about FSU because it's so passionate about them, especially when they see the increase, the rates at which children are being abused, sexually penetrated across the country. That is why funds not to the challenge.
So how the departments they decide on cases them in terms of prosecution, cases the one at the greasy, this one enough for go court. How now they make the decision in
Well, with the network with the Office of the Attorney General, every case we investigate, we send them for legal advice because some of them cases they can end up for going to High Court. So if you get for going to High Court, the Office of the DPP for no. Because if it goes to the High Court now, the DPP, they provide state counsel there for go prosecute. So that's why we are keeping them informed in about every stage in the investigation. And then they offer that professional advice. We send file to them after a couple of statements, then go and ask with further directives. Say, we'll go do this, we'll go do this, we'll go do this. Then hold on to our brain, come back to them. Then they say, well, you prefer these charges. That's why we'll not miss with case in the court at all.
So how the Salon Police scheme come about for ensure say, for example, reports and whether they come out for CAL as an institution, just one of them, several other organizations, the way they do reports on issues we get for do with congestion of the prisons, when they can say overcrowded, and so many times when the reports and they come out, it can clear say that people who can commit petty offenses can plenty they compare to other big guns them where people can know say don't they commit crime.
Well, petty offense na offense. Pikin lepet na lepet. So and the law is there. The law is clear on those issues. The law say if you do this, if you are found guilty of this one, this is your penalty. So if they fine you 500,000 and you cannot pay 500,000, if the equivalent, the alternative is 2 months in jail, you have to go for 2 months. So, but again, if you look at closely, I don't have to go into what's happening in the prisons, but if you look at them closely, you get people that most of them they are in prison. Now people that we don't commit not to petty crime they commit. They have been there, they are in case they're not sent and go to High Court, but High Court never will sit for really look at those cases. That's why they are still there. So not to petty crime now.
We continue for look at the work of the directorate Osayi Komot, and still on the issues we get for do with crime na Salon. Waiting at some of the biggest organized crimes them where the department currently they investigate.
We investigate a case of somebody with traffic, we bring money laundering case, we bring some fake dollars for can launder the economy, and one big case one Nigerian. That one not talk with look at that one day. But they also look at one case where staff of Zenith Bank then conspire with some customers, then cut away huge sums of money also. When you look at that one day.
How common then kind crimes here where not only one person they involve in them, they get different people and when they come together for do them kind of crime, then how common then in a salon currently?
Well, it's not too plenty. If you check the figures, it's not too plenty, but we dey see am now as an emerging trend where people they conspire in an office for thief the money. Sometimes now 1-2 person, sometimes now good number of people. You know, like the one where the top was on Zenith Bank, now the bank at the SSF, and then conspire with customer them. They transfer money now your accounts, you draw, you give them, they give you commission. You know, they will get cases where servants them, where they in the employ of the master them, then they give them money for okay, go to bank, they on a real time, or they can go they put time, they make them fake payment slip in the bank, up to a point where the money they plenty, then they just disappear in thin air. So they get some of them cases there actually.
Talking about the cases them we una dey deal with of recent, make I draw your mind and give update on cases them we una be done dey deal with. One of them, now one we get for do with the chairman of the current ruling party, with alleged shooting of him bodyguard of one supporter. We said that case day now under your service.
Well, interestingly, that case day, we done with that case day, we look at all the evidence in its entirety. There was virtually no reason for the chairman of the party to be charged or anybody to be charged. Because as I say, whatever we are doing, we are sending the file to the law officers, they are looking at it, and then they are advising. So based on the advice of the Office of the Attorney General, there was no evidence, even from the investigation. So that matter, it has been closed.
So the matter have been done close, no evidence at the stands. What about the bodyguard with the alleged shoot?
When we say no evidence, no there. So that is why the matter closed.
Now we look at another issue we've been get for do with some female players then we be reports to the Criminal Investigation Department on alleged sexual harassment. What's in the happen with that matter since then send a DPP office?
Yes, that matter said DPP office will not look at. Basically, you know, case where they investigate case for like charge case in a court. Now two things you get for proof. One, are the menstrual, the state of the mind. Then two, are the actus reus. Say this person and do this. Who side those two things, there's a doubt about them. The benefit of a doubt goes to the accused person. That case equally, I get growing interest around the society. But we investigate and we'll go to the law officers department. Their advice on the matter. There is no evidence for law we prosecute anybody in that particular matter. And we, as an organization, will not go feel good if we send case to court we lost them. It means we are not professionals.
No evidence as in what?
What did they allege? Say they are being harassed sexually. There was no evidence.
But there was text messages then and also calls.
Text messages and calls. They cannot be the sole or only evidence in the matter. Evidence get any crime we investigate to get elements.
So if
the elements are not complete, then it's not a crime.
So now waiting at the threshold when I can look for in that kind of case, for example, for Leone decide say this evidence not enough for
now they say every crime gets your own elements of the crime. That's why when you are investigating, you are virtually like constructing the crime on the case and inquiry file. So where you do such a thing and you cannot assemble all the elements of the crime, it is not a crime. So if for example, I know what if my own property. So those are the issues. Every crime, as I say, we don't know what has happened because you are not policemen. But what I say is taken from this point of view. I talk to you now like a layman. Every crime gets your own elements of the crime. So if those elements are not complete, the crime is not complete. So possibly one thief, not a crime.
So look at the situation of getting back to the public, informing the public of some of these things, because for as somebody they follow some of the issues and earlier and will say una don't abandon some of them cases. Yeah. So
no.
How I can come back and get to the public and tell them
every
going have been public interest.
Every case gets a complainant. So when we get advice either from Ministry of Lands or from AG's office on any matter, we call it two parties, we inform them. We put them before and say, this is the matter you reported, this is the advice from the law officers department.
So in this situation, when we don't get back
that is
to
what
them,
we did. That is what they know about it. That's what they know. They know say that is the case.
So as we continue to look at some of the issues that will be happening last year and how una don't go about with investigations. Them other one we been do a lot of attention from the public get for do with the Hastings shooting. Waiting at the status of that case there.
That matter then a court. So at this point, I really like for restraining myself, not for prejudice people that might already listen to that case. The police officer that will be there around the area will be don't take administrative action against them. They don't dismiss them.
A quick text from one of the listeners. They ask, according to the investigations of the one John Paul in Daiwan, who have been the investigate, what do you find out say he died of? As you say, no evidence at the moment of gunshot.
We, as police, we investigate the matter. Then when they report the matter, it was they admit the man in hospital. The doctor then say he sustained gunshot wounds. But the waiting I mean the doubt around all of that is whose side he get the gunshot. That is the case. Whose side would shooter? Because if you look at all the statements who gather, witnesses will make statements in that particular file. There is nobody for talk say, I see this man, we shoot this man. And remember, I tell you, say that is one thing you have to prove in the case. The actors shoes was say evidence. Now what you hear, what you see, not to waiting other man they go try for bail around the case.
So the evidence now na gunshot, but una no know said and shoot him. Is that the case?
That's the case. The doctor they say that gunshot wound the man.
But una no know said and shoot.
Well, if you say if they say get gunshot wound, one for know who say you sustain the gunshot. So now we say get gunshot to the whole Mr. X here nine shoot you know that's not the case.
But the gun them, we police and soldier man then get number and get way for identify. We are not able to ascertain them from that point.
No, well, really, all of that been take place because anytime we get shooting incident, we do ballistic examination. So that matter is closed. So I really don't know why you are digging into the matter when actually it's not correct.
All right, if you just tune in, you listen to the Director of Crime Services and the Salon Police, AIG William Fayaselu, they give updates on different things them way, investigations them way they don't do as to how they serve the try for support for ensure that they reduce crime rates in the country. We go for talk later at the program, but the issue we get for do with the West African Police Information System and how it help the Salon Police then work. But for the year 2021, we just don't, although you say, well, they work on the reports then now. But in as much as now work on the reports for let una get them released to the public as to waiting be happen. How you go describe the year 2021 in terms of una work?
Well, for we 2021, it went well for us. You know, crime now is a social phenomenon. It means any cyber matter man and the crime be there. Even inside this on our office, crime be there. So basically, for we really look at fighting crime and our basic job, core function for protect lives and property. And I think we have done that. But what to realize, even in countries where the streets they're all computerized, they on CCTV camera, crime they commit today. So and the other issue we can be challenged for winner that members of the public they readily cooperate to the police for giving information about what is happening in their communities or about suspected persons because most of them they benefit from that and so they decide to keep quiet. So on the whole, it went well. For example, the festive season we just passed, we police and fine. There was no incident right through across the country because the director of operations generate a generic operational plan where it roll across the country. Everybody customize and for make sure say it prepare adequately, assess the threat and deploy for make sure say nothing not really go wrong. So for we 2021 was good for us. That doesn't mean that things never happened, incidents occurred, but it was good on the whole. When you compare what is happening in terms of crime in Sierra Leone, you look at other countries. That's why Sierra Leone at what time they look at you as a very peaceful country. Although we get small things that we can happen, but those are normal. It can happen in any community.
In terms of clamping down criminals and people where authorities then came, once for laid and they under custody. One big example I go give now for give you updates on the latest developments on the matter we get for do with LAC. This being and the president we don't revoke the pardon where it been given and the Salon Police get the responsibility for capture and back for let go back to say is supposed for the waiting at the current status of LAC case.
Well, he remains a fugitive, but we have taken concrete steps. We don't do quite a lot. In the first place, we don't put out red notice alert now Interpol. Within pictures and fingerprints across the world, 192 countries, when are Interpol countries, member countries. We don't do that, Andy. Then, of course, locally, we don't put out wanted notice for the man. Then, thirdly, the Inspector General, personally, he put out a call to his colleagues at the encounter partner at the sub-region for add more weight to that particular search for that particular man. So the alerts don't go all out, we look for him. But law not forget, a man where they run away from the law, he can always get the tendency for go underground for small. Some they even go as far as changing their morphology, their identity, they change that, but we'll get there. As long as we get the pictures and everything, we'll get there.
You go from an investigation so far, you go confirm if LAC is salon or not?
Well, I know we will confirm that because I'm sure if he did, I know to say, well, definitely it's not there. He might not be in this country. I know get conclusive evidence for CS he did. But we are exploiting the options that are available to us as an organization for track somebody when are fugitive.
So in line, sorry, Mosala.
Okay, it's okay.
In line with that particular statement that we make, earlier in the program, you been talk say on a department got is well equipped for ensure so are able for do on a work. Why up till now the salon police are not able for catch just one man? Where the president be done revoke in pardon way gear up to this date, salon police were well equipped according to you, not able for clamp and down.
Look at the timing of the thing that we'll talk about. Then grant that pardon on the 1st of January. Not so. It take like 2 weeks. 2 weeks for make about that time for when they revoke the clemency. So that is enough time for let the man check out of the country. But the effort what team police can do, the steps we can take for look at those people now I don't tell us so. With the flag arm and Interpol across 192 countries, they will flag arm also locally within the country for say this is a wanted man. They will look for him.
If in case like this, we will not get doubt whether the person day in or out, wouldn't the steps then for investigates for know if person don't travel out of salon from the crime service unit?
We look at we can look at the border crossings. We look at the border crossings because at every border crossing point we have a record of who is going out and who is coming into the country. Then we also look at the airport. If somebody don't left out of the country, they have a record of that one.
In this case, we don't check the border crossings and the airports.
We don't check the border crossings.
What you want to find out?
Well, there's no record of him at any of the border crossings.
So that means it is alone.
I cannot be conclusive on that one. I
But
cannot
if
say
your
he
record
is.
can't show somebody traveling out and we don't do an investigation as an expert, we mean say
No, not lose sight of the fact. Say we get a very long and porous border where people can just go in and out unrecorded.
But how effective on a community policing be? Because if they look for somebody where, well, it's supposed for them in any community, if you know on a record no show say don't travel, how effective on a community policing be? We up till now not able to get information from the community.
The effectiveness of community policing depends on the level of cooperation where even we not self where she don't so while on the cooperate to the police. Because we realize the fact that we cannot be everywhere all the time. Now make we enter into that social contract with the community. Say yes, let us partner so that we can share information about crime in our communities. So, but if that's not coming from you, let me give you a story. One particular rare story. Kisi, we look for one arm robber, we'll catch the arm robber, we'll go all arm night, was early morning in Granny the Hala, in Pekino to Tiff Party, Pekino to this one to arrest him. We decide for search the house. Search. Now say no, this is me with the talk, so let's search in bedroom. The weapon where the body used for do the arm robbery and the AK-47, now the mammy in bedroom will meet her. So if you have scores of those people in the community, police now will definitely make progress.
So now we look at the Interpol where you talk about earlier when a partnership with other policing communities.
So we don't look at how they do their work over the years and other issues them when are some of the highlights them will be happening inside 2021. We, according to them, they go for pull reports now actually for tell the country waiting and find out about crime business at the country. But as we continue the program, we can't talk on the issue now we get for do with the West Africa Police Information System. Let we just start for share with listeners them waiting the West Africa Police Information System debates.
The West African Police Information System, for short, what we call WAPIS, now an initiative of ECOWAS. We then actually initiate in 2010 after they gave a big symposium in Brussels. You know, in the early 80s up to this time, what we will be seeing in West Africa now that there was a growing trend in transnational organized crime, terrorism. We see Boko Haram in Nigeria, we see RUF in Salon, we see NPFL, Liberia, all of those ones. So it become a concern. So then realize, say, well, until they get an effective police information sharing forum, no crime fighting strategy, no enforcement strategy, no go able for tackle the issue there. This push ECOWAS countries through Interpol in 2005, them promulgate one document where they say for form what they call Criminal Intelligence and Investigation Bureau. Them the fee say that the idea was standing for support ECOWAS countries for combat transnational organized crime and terrorism. After that, in 2010, after this symposium na Brussels, now them police chiefs were also invited across the sub-region. Now they say, well, yes, we don't recognize the need for get a fully integrated police information sharing platform now the sub-region. We go help you for tackle these issues. So after that 2010 symposium, EU now the funding partner for this program. EU released funds to Interpol. Interpol are the implementing partner. They released funds to Interpol in 2010. So 2012, they begin roll out this WAPIS program. Then get on to Interpol because Interpol then get the expertise, they get the experience for manage police data and for do some capacity building initiatives for the police. So them roll out. They roll out in phases. These are the third phase of the WAPIS program. Sierra Leone will sign up in 2017 with WAPIS. In 2019, now we'll actually sign out the MOU with Interpol for actually seeing out the implementation of the program. But basically, the overall objective of WAPIS now for increase the capacity of West African law enforcement agencies for combat transnational organized crime and and terrorism through an enhanced information sharing system, basically around it. But of course, other objectives now that the advantage we get will don't be part of this system now that it develop a capacity for collect, for manage, and for analyze data, criminal data. Then of course it also help we for share that data on crime across the sub-region with other law enforcement agencies. Then also it strengthen with connection with other law enforcement agencies across the country. At the local level, it is strengthening interagency cooperation between the local security service sectors of the country.
How this network the help for equipped the Salon police them, especially the one them where they go peacekeeping at different parts of the African continent.
The primary focus of WAPIS now for combat transnational organized crime and terrorism now the sub-region. Now sub-region are effort. They operate at three levels: the national level, the regional level, and the international level. So where will they launch them? Of course, tomorrow we will launch the forum, the system now. CID headquarters, I will get the center actually at 10 o'clock. The system is such that in Sierra Leone now, what we don't do, as I say, we'll sign up with WAPIS in 2017. We'll not take an until 2019 because now 10-year program, 2012 to 2022, 10-year program, now EU fund for. So we're at the third phase of implementation. We're at the last, one of the few countries in the last phase. So we get 7 remote stations, what they call them workstations across the country. We take into consideration the police administrative regions in the country. We get one at Bo, we get one at Kenema, we get one at Makini, we get one at Poloko, we get na Ross Road Police Station, we get one at Lumley. That they reflect the 6 police divisions. Then we get one at ACC, we get one immigration because they want them together with the keep criminal data and with the share them together. For example, if passport loss, we get for inform immigration say passport not lost. So that's what we set up. So as at now, we get the center for the National WAPIS Center, who they call the Data Collection and Registration Center, DACO, in base na CID headquarters. this center, the National Wapi Center, ideally for base na law enforcement facility. I make put on a headquarters. And secondly, if already in proximity to the NCB, the National Central Bureau, we na Interpol, the manager one day for share information across the world. I make we locate that one day. So that National Center in they collect data on crime, suspected persons, stolen vehicles, stolen works of art, missing or stolen documents. They collect them maybe from across the country, across all the center will get up country. When they bring come to them, then they look them, then check them, the validity. Then of course, if you do for put out now the regional forum, then they put out the. So every national WAPIS center is the network come into the regional center. Then the regional center is also connected to the global center. But because police data, where the paper form, it had for access, it had for share, we get for convert them in a digital form. So we will input them at the WAPIS system. If you look at the WAPIS, we get what to call Automated Fingerprint Identification System, AFIS. AFIS, they help you for know without a wanted person. For example, if you're a wanted person in this country, then get your prints, they input them into the national API system, automatically it will be seen in every country in the sub-region.
So for example, like we want to defend LAC, this particular WAPIS, we're able for app follow a clamp and down.
WAPIS now tomorrow will actually launch them formally.
Yeah, we're on a launch them.
For now, before they even launch WAPIS, everything about him is out there in the I-247. I-247, that the Interpol, their own page down when they share notices about wanted persons, stolen vehicles, stolen works of art, missing documents, stolen documents, all of those. So it is there already. So the WAPIS now regional, sub-regional something, West Africa.
So is there any value like for the Salon Police, like when are they in search of criminals?
Yes, because we are networking with other colleagues in the sub-region. That is the value. It helps you for share the information, for collect them, manage them, then of course we share them.
Though it's for West Africa, but we get already a block where Salon belong to, apart from the West African block, we're the Mano River Union. We now neighboring countries them. How will they work with the neighboring countries them using this platform for ensure say the issue of trafficking and the organized crime them will not fight against stop or reduce between the two countries or three countries or four countries at the Mano River Union?
Well, we say West Africa, those countries in this sub-region, Mano River Union, they all are part of.
I know,
so they are all part of the system.
Smaller units
no,
now,
they are all part of this unit. This unit, they say we are from. No, they are all part of that system. Okay. So whatever is happening in Sierra Leone now, as far as WAPIS is concerned, is happening across the 15 countries that make up West Africa sub-region, that make up ECOWAS.
What are the means of communications, like for communication among the bodies them, for ensure say within exactly upon a flag people or police officers or government officials fighting crime in Guinea, Liberia, or Ivory Coast get them as quick as possible before it goes out of hand?
Let me say we got the National WAPIS Center. Every country get dandy. Now we make so much use of the internet facility, internet services. As I talk, so in William case, then you also install the server. Right now, Lumley, Immigration, ACC, CID headquarters or Ross Road, they are all connected on the server now. So it's like if you're familiar with the UN system, they got what they call Lotus, the your way of communicating. You put something today, you put information about wanted person and you put them at the WAPIS, you start at the WAPIS system, it goes immediately. So this they give you direct access to information.
All right.
It's no longer wasting time.
They look at messages when I don't send at the program this morning, and as we start to look at the messages, the very first one I go look at this morning at the Facebook page. Thomas Rogers, they say good morning 98.1. I'm watching and listening live from UK. In my opinion, all is not lost in the Sierra Leone police. William Fayasalu is a man with integrity and highly experienced, former worker of late President Kaba, highly disciplined and well educated. I am very impressed with his calmness and professionalism.
This one say, AIG Selu, please, how far have you gone with the training of officials that will be handling the West African establishment that you are just about to do?
All right, to look at more messages, so that one they ask, say, can you please ask the AIG to update us whether the issue of kidnapping is happening in Sierra Leone as to reports that have been going around on social media?
This one for Mystic Nadwazak say, getting a West African police monitoring system is good because it will promote proper coordination among police forces in West Africa. Just that they should ensure they have a proper system because people who are on the run are very smart to crack down.
We look at more messages. This other one says, Mr. Selu, the LAC issue has sparked up so many debates, which has led to the sacking of the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice. From your investigation, we have seen photos on social media platforms indicating that LAC is out of the country. Do you still have faith to apprehend LAC?
This one from Exceeding Grace say, I'm done with this go. I'm done. Okay.
All right, to look at more messages, we don't come inside the program. This other one, we will look at now on the Facebook page. The person they ask, say, can you please explain further how the Sierra Leone police plan to strengthen community relations? Because if the police is finding someone that is being hidden in the communities, how do we apprehend them? All right, from that message, we come over to we guess for response to message them. We don't come inside forum as I go over to them with this last message from Facebook again. Side of to the ask say, community policing is failing in many communities because many local authorities today are not being recognized by residents. Our communities are informal, but we always behave like formal communities. Enough it we safe. Well, from the message, they'll come over to you, AIG.
Yes, thank you. In the first place, for the WAPIs, we don't conduct trainings before this time. We don't train 60 policemen. Them. We don't deploy them at the 7 workstations across the country. Equally so, immigration, ACC, they don't do their own training. And they are ready to initiate the system and to keep it running. Of course, we get a monitoring mechanism for make sure the system they run, what we call the WAPIs National Committee. Wanaku get responsibility for monitor the progress or the effective functioning of WAPIs and Sierra Leone. Just like we ECOWAS get responsibility for monitor WAPIs across the countries in the sub-region and for give them support. In the area of kidnapping, from the tale them begin now all stories or reports about kidnapping in this country are false reports. All the one that we can now, we just go investigate now, woman them, they try for bleed them and them for pull money out of them, they go fake the kidnapping. All of that is false. Up to this point, to not get no one incident of kidnapping, we don't come out to be real true. And they don't pay ransom to people, but those are people that is stage manager. So the issue about kidnapping in Sierra Leone are just bad people want to make the country look bad and insecure. That's why they spread that kind of bad news. Then the issue of LACS, in as much as we are using the internationally accepted means for look for fugitives, we're very hopeful, say one day we'll get that. We don't see in Germany, for example, after the Nazi reign, people they would then go underground for over 40 years, but then pick them up. If you're at the age of 90, then still try them and carry them go. But this one, I'm very sure with all that we have done, it will take too long. We'll for Richard. On the issue of LPPB community policing, say now one of the performance agreement pillars where the Inspector General gets with local unit commanders and regional commanders for say it is something you have to use in your divisions. It is something you have to, if it's not there, you for activate them. Very soon we'll get the corporate affairs department where they go around the country for make sure say every division in the country is alive and kicking with community policing activities. It failed because they were going to bring camp for CS. You are giving a service to your community. Everybody in a policeman, the only difference between this would call civilian and policeman are that we then they pay you for do police work, but everyone in a policeman. You know they work on the streets, people in the vet, you know go for go parts them. We do that in a police work you do. But most people, we don't bring the council can do community policing work. You get executive, divisional executive, national executive, then they expect to be paid. And we not get money for pay you as community member. You know, now volunteer, they volunteer for assist in the community. So if they really come out, they assist we, the thing not go fail. Then of course, sometimes they can overstep the new mark. Right now, we try to organize another workshop. We organize another workshop for bringing together all community policing partnership executives to another meeting for can look at them. They get the constitution, they get everything for look at them again. For let's see if we go elect new officials for serve on those executives across the country. So, but being that you know, a member of the executive of community policing as central, for example, not give you the leeway for say if they engage chief ban, you go say well this I'm brother and picking. No, that's the issue. Also, we can always be in conflict with them. So they can for actually overstep the mark, they go into concrete policing activities. Where they give them privileges, for example, who they recruit, who they bring them camp for tell people who like are the community way credible for being recruited in the police force. The recent promotions, they were part of that committee all across the country. A member was seated on those panels for make sure say yes. They know the policeman well. So when the policeman appear, we ask him, what is your assessment of this policeman? You say, well, this one is hardworking. So based on their recommendation, we can entertain them. So we don't give them quite a lot. So now I give and take relationship for be win-win situation, not to the number for the win.
Tommy Thomas Butcher on Facebook, they ask, say, please ask the IG about criminals who steal people's phone and how they are tracking them down when the report has been made.
Well, we got a very good cyber department, scientific support department now, CID headquarters, where they track them phone then they. So pass them, pull them, can't go out of this country or not use it at all. As long as we get the IME number of your phone, let them change the SIM, would they able to pull them for you. We don't recover so many missing phones. And even now, we have been empowered with this new cyber law where government passed. It don't make now even these wide messages where they send on social media, videos and audios, would they track them? Would they track them, then would they now use the new law for begin impose punitive actions against those who are found guilty of those things.
All right, continue for the between at the program AIG William Fayaselu. We go come back to you. The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. Let me take break and come look at how the launching tomorrow will get for Lake.
Echo Bank, the leading bank na salon. Don't come.
Hey, this blow me mind, Bobs. You don't hear about EcoBank, the new service to the customer them. That's not the EcoBank Express Point. What I'm going for make it easy for me and you. We don't want to go with Stemna Bank. Now that make EcoBank Express Point the plenty side near you area, like a pharmacy, shop, supermarket, and even na microfinance or any side where you see the Express Point sign. On top that, EcoBank Express Point, they give you the service where you bank they give you, even where the bank don't lock. Like you go put money, pull money, open express account, pay your bill, buy airtime, receive money through Western Union, and send and receive money through Rapid Transfer. When an EcoBank their own money transfer service, where they operate at 33 African countries them, also EcoBank Day, and you don't need for carry any foreign currency. EcoBank care about you. You just go to any side where the agent and the Express Point sign day today for easy banking, easy access, no yagba.
EcoBank, the leading bank na salon.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. We still get the Director of Crime Services at the Salon Police, AIG William Fayaselu. We don't they talk about them work, and also then he gets the launch, official launch of the West Africa Police Information System tomorrow. How prepared is the Salon Police for the launch tomorrow? How go for happen?
Well, tomorrow a big day for Sierra Leone Police, a big day for Sierra Leone, because tomorrow with the increased reconnection, now the regional and the global security framework. One for say a big thank you to His Excellency, we pick her up, because remember I say Sierra Leone signed up to WAPIS in 2017. So when in 2018, he make a priority for say yes, Sierra Leone has to be connected to the regional and the global security framework. So that's a man who is not only interested in national security, but regional as well as global. So tomorrow we get big function CID headquarters. Now the data collection and registration center day, and also the Interpol I-247 system day. We invite all ambassadors to the sub-region to that particular program, and also the EU. The EU are the funding partner for this particular program, because they see the need for support police chiefs to the sub-region for bringing this thing up. So tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we will do the guest speaker, keynote speaker, coincidentally, the chief minister, the Honorable Jacob Yusuf Safar. The time where they bring in the equipment from Nigeria for start for set up this WAPIS in Sierra Leone. He was the Minister of Finance, and he gave us tremendous support in terms of for give waiver, for bringing the thing and a lot of equipment. Udon, Keren, Gonabu, Kenema, Makini, Poloko, and Lumley and Ross Road and CID headquarters. So Inge for me the guest of honor tomorrow. Go give the address as guest speaker, and of course we got the deputy head of the EU delegation as Sierra Leone, and we invite a lot of other people, for ministers of government and other heads of security services in the country. We can see what is happening tomorrow. We are breaking new ground in this country. So at the first 1921, you have been invited by our Media One. So tomorrow is going to be the day for us to be neatly woven into the regional and global security framework. We have been there before by way of Interpol, and Interpol has been helping quite a lot. It has its headquarters at Ivory Coast. But WAPIS, it is the regional headquarters is going to be in Abuja, because that is where we have ECOWAS. And ECOWAS is providing supervision for the effective implementation of WAPIS across the sub-region. So tomorrow is our day. Let us look forward to it, and we'll be there to give it our fullest support.
Talking about the launching, in a text message, somebody asked how equipped the officers we then get for handle this technology day.
Yeah, I don't explain. I say they have been trained. Interpol don't facilitate training. I say Interpol then get expertise and experience for design, capacity building in initiatives, and for manage police data. So they don't train personnel, 60 as I say. They are deployed across the country in all those workstations. So they don't train them how to input the information and how to feed them at the regional and the global framework.
Anything we na internet issues na salon most times can get challenged. How ready una deal with this system in terms of the internet facility?
Well, I'm sure we'll not get challenged with that, because as I talk so now, the one at the western area who don't install the server and CID headquarters, all the 5 workstations, they are connected. So moving forward, after I launch this one tomorrow, next week, we move with the service provider, them fix solutions. So we're going to make sure then connect all the other 4 workstations across the country, so that it will pick up.
When I get an emergency number for the public for gets crime reported to this unit?
Well, that one, we don't, it is not like when a thief person phone up here, the reporter, I don't know. Now me could say it is there across the country, all those workstations. Then the focus of WAP is now transnational organized crime and terrorism. So it's about when you talk about
somebody within a community don't notice some of them activities there, so you don't get access to police.
No, the access there because the normal reporting pattern. Now they follow normal reporting line. You report at this division, the reporter at the regional headquarters, then cascade and make a system. So that make it is installed in every regional headquarters. So if you phone Kaila Husami come out or the TV passport na Kaila, you can report them. We reach Kenema the inputter at the system. As an inputter, so then of course immigration the same, board the same, Freeton the same, market the same, Poloko the same. It's like that.
Okay, my colleague one time said, but quick message. This one they say, okay, then thief me phone na Kabbalah, I report them na CID, then catch them na Kono after 2 weeks. The cyber units they work. This na and I can put compliments for the Southern Police.
That's now one out of the many things that we don't do. We don't do great things with cyber department.
So as they say, we don't do great things. Now we're in the year 2022. Now, waiting at the plan there for 2022, waiting salon people for expect from the crime services.
Well, we strategic development plan. We know they cover only crime services, but the entire organization. We don't roll out. Then they clearly show you the pathway where the police want to take for the next 4 years. So in that document, we have our strategic objectives and what we are supposed to be doing, what we are supposed to do in that document. So we are looking forward to a bright 2022 because the present leadership is so desirous of ensuring that people are safe and secure, their properties are safe and secured. So we are going according to that plan, and that is why on the quarterly basis we are reporting what we are doing, every department, every division across the country. Now that we can put together at the end of the year, we report. But of course, whatever we are doing is drawn from the President's National Development Plan, enhancing security, peace for the people of this country.
So in terms of crimes, as we dey look now overall, as we they continue to look at on our work, the issue of drugs, and one again where we don't see different information don't they come out. You they work now side we directly they deal with then kind thing in the end, how the crime rate stand like, how you go describe the seriousness of in terms of drugs.
Well, one thing I want to say again now that this government don't take drug business very seriously. You know that we don't so bust drug rings in this country that we get one other initiative what they call C-COP, C Cooperative Project, where now we that particular project they look at maritime offenses. Drug trafficker then they use the land first time for bringing them to any kind inside the country. So we service provider, the security, law enforcement agencies, they hit them on land, they don't change, now then they use the sea. Now most recently the sea would intercept quantities of kush, wataki and those places. That don't make the C-COP project, they don't activate them. As I talk, so we get 240 feet containers now wataki, and we get the personnel deployed to that particular C-COP. The Leone chapter of the C-COP, from immigration, from TOCU, from ONS, from NDLEA, all of them. So now we do 100% examination of containers because they don't realize then drugs and then they pass them through containers before this time. So now the focus, government only take drug business easy in this country right now, as I talk. So now make drug trafficking, if you see I'm himself, it don't go down because plenty people they beyond bars now for their involvement in drugs. Like recently we impound 37 cartons of tramadol. We get high milligrams of each for each tablet. It now talk now. We investigate and we go for charge them. So we're also looking at.
Apart from Wataki, we don't make mention of and other major border crossing points. Them earlier you mention of the porous borders with plenty. What in the crime service they do, the unit they do now for ensure say then able tap then kind or drugs entering into Salone through them porous borders, then we don't mention the earlier.
Well, we get divisions, police divisions where they cover those porous border areas. And inside the security reform, what they've been doing in this country, we get what we call CHISEC, Chiefdom Security Committee. So it's the responsibility of the local unit commander in any chiefdom that is lying along the border to be holding meetings with the chiefs and the committee in that particular chiefdom for make sure say they are working together to share the information. The whole thing about fighting crime is about sharing information. Even in the developed countries, the police then depend on what the public they tell about what's happening. So if you hold on to that information, we cannot make progress. So we continue for appeal to people within those areas where the borders and porous for report to the police. Whatever I see they go on, we're not fine for a country. So that's the responsibility everybody has. Every border, they do a lot of interceptions. Then they go brush, jamba farm them. It is there. We have those on record. And all of it is coming in the national crime statistics, which we are compiling now.
So how effective on a work like na the provinces, not like on a focus more on the capital city because na there plenty people there. How effective on a like na other side of the country?
So it's effective because we are decentralized. I mean, we get police regions, we get regional commands. Everything you see in Freetown is replicated in the provinces. We have 4 regional command units in the provinces and 2 in Freetown. Each and every one has an AIG in charge and several divisions under his supervision. So whatever is in Freetown is replicated. Every unit you have in Freetown is also in the provinces. So and we are monitoring. The IG has a very good monitoring mechanism through corporate affairs. We have our checklist, which we go through every 3 months. We go around to check. Of course, crime, it is reported on a daily basis by every local unit commander or regional commander. As I'm sitting here, if I go to my phone now, I will see every crime that was committed in this country, across the country. They will report it in my phone. Although the coordinating officer for that one is a director of operations, but in the area of crime, I look at it and I follow up from where I'm sitting.
In terms of upping on a game, because the criminals, of course, where the police on say they put one strategy in place for ensure on a clamping down, then say always they try for beat the system. What on a plan for this 2022 for ensure say, especially hardcore criminals on a get them outside they're supposed for the.
Well, like we say, we will not for go public or not. That is classified information because we don't for talk and say, oh, this is what for do. Then we will know who for do again. So we have plans. Like I say, we get with SDP. Then every regional commander and divisional commander get own operational plan. So on a monthly basis, everybody is submitting. Every divisional commander is submitting his plan of activities for the month to the regional commander. Then they transmit and they forward on to headquarters. So we know for this month of January, this is what you plan to do, and at the end of January, you have to tell us whether you are able to deliver on those ones. If you don't deliver, then you have to tell us why you did not deliver, because the resources are there for you, so you cannot stop delivering. You cannot keep back.
So overall, in terms of crime rates, what you go tell the country, people for feel safe, Salon Police, they on top of situation in terms of reducing the crime rate?
This is the safest country at the sub-region, if not even Africa. Our safest country, we are on record for that one. We have been described as the safest country in West Africa. We are on record. So that we don't only say kudos to the police, but to everybody who has been supporting the efforts of the police, including government who is providing the resources and the wherewithal for us to function effectively.
All right. Many thanks for you joining at the program this morning. AIG William Fayaselu, the head of crime services at the Salon Police. Thank you, Ikan, at the program.
Thank you very much for having me.